friends, I'm Connie, and today I want to talk about 8 tips to simplify your life. Ironically, I had started doing this video before, and I wasn't keeping it as simple as it probably should have been. So I lost a little part of it, and I have to do parts of it over. Anyway, that's okay. It was just starting anyway. This list is not conclusive. It is just things that I have implemented in my life that in my quest to try to live more simply, they really have helped me. There are things that maybe you have done or that will inspire you to do them also. Not surprisingly, number 1 is keep it simple. And that principle can be applied to your wardrobe, your shopping, your meal preparation, especially your schedule. Anything that can be complicated can also be pared down and more simple. Now, that's not to say that you're never going to make a fancy meal or have a reunion that can, how complicated that can get. See where you want to have the reunion and bringing people in from other states or a holiday that's going to be a big event. Yeah, those things happen, but on a day-by-day basis, if you can keep things less complicated, it just doesn't give as much stress as things that are always complicated, and it's a lot less costly too. So with that, let's move to number 2. Don't worry about things that haven't even happened yet. And I chose this picture of our beautiful Piper because all she has to do is look lovely, eat, and sleep. We should all be that lucky. I don't know about you, but that has been something I was notorious for a long time, probably since I was a kid, worrying about things before they were supposed to happen, and then they never did. But here I am losing sleep over things, and that's a complication that we make our lives complicated. I even heard a statistic where they said that the things, something like 95-97% of the things that we worry about thinking that they're going to happen never do. And here we are stressing ourselves out over something that hasn't happened. And the Lord Jesus even said that and I'm going to paraphrase it, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow has enough trouble, and today has enough trouble of its own too. And that's really true. All we can do, we don't even have tomorrow. We're not really promised tomorrow. So the only thing that we can do is to take care to use wisdom for today, enjoy today, and do the best that we can to prepare and make good choices so that we don't have to worry about tomorrow. But even if we do make mistakes, it's just to worry about it. All it does really is get us sick. So it's not keeping life simple in that sense. And let's go on to number 3. Be an early bird. And as the saying goes, you will catch the worm. Well, this is not about ambition or anything like that. This is actually about giving yourself time and not driving yourself crazy trying to get somewhere. This is something that, after so long of trying to get to work on time sometimes, this was more of a factor when I was young and my kids were young and I had to drop them off at the daycare and everything. Those were beautiful times. But I remember they were hectic times too. So I realized sometimes that's hard, but even for a working mother, a young working mother, this can be really helpful. Sometimes you just have to get up a little bit earlier, which is also important because you may benefit from a morning routine, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, but give yourself time. I find that when I give myself time and I'm not rushed, I have enough time, maybe I even have time to stop off at the store for a few minutes and pick up something to drink for later on in the day, or just to be on time a few minutes before so that I can set up before I start work, or be on time as best as you can to make to an appointment so you don't have to miss your appointment. This is all things that start to really complicate our lives. I keep using that word, but it's true. We do it to ourselves in a sense, and we're rushing through traffic, and it's actually dangerous. I have found over the last few years I've started to get up a little bit earlier, try to finish things up. I have my morning routine too, but I get to where I'm going on time, whether it's the doctor's office or my job or church or just to meet a friend. It's nice. It's a good feeling to know that I don't have to be rushed, that I'm accounting for traffic and everything else. It just helps out to not drive you crazy in that sense. And here goes number 4. Learn to say no. No, sometimes you have to say no. We cannot be all things to all people. It just doesn't work that way. And what's going to happen is if we allow ourselves to say yes all the time, and I've learned, it's taken me a long time, but I've learned to say no. I say it sometimes. Sometimes the person may not like that, and that's okay. I would rather tell you yes and mean it and know that I'm going to show and that I'm not going to, I'm overloaded. I don't like to be overloaded. I always would do that. I'd always overload myself. Overloading yourself, just after a while, you're not doing things with a good heart. You're doing things out of obligation, and you're not totally there. So you don't have to be mean about it. You can say it nicely, but you may have to say it firmly. No. Value your time. Realize, be jealous about your time. But give your time out of a sincerity and not because someone expects it of you. And that moves us to number 5. Take charge of your health. I work in healthcare, and I have the pleasure of working with nutritionists, and I've always loved nutrition. It's just something that I'm interested in. And I like what one of them always says, none of us is perfect. I'm not perfect either. And she's a nutritionist, and she says, that we can all do better in different places. All you can do is take care of yourself. You have to really take care of yourself. You have to be in charge of your health. Your doctor isn't really in charge of your health. He or she can guide you. They can tell you what to do. They can give you advice. But once you walk out of that office, it's always on you, So we have to do all those preventative things. Get the tests that you're supposed to get. Get in those daily walks. They always feel good anyway. Half an hour isn't asking a lot. You could break it up and do 15 minutes here and there. It doesn't have to be a big thing. If you're going to put chips into your shopping cart, make sure that you put some vegetables too. Some lean meat. Cook with your grill instead, if you have one, instead of frying things. Just little changes here and there. Go take care of your teeth. Do all the things that you're worth doing that for. And in the long run, if you're most of us are looking after someone else or taking care of someone or we're with someone, well, we can't take care of them unless we take care of ourselves. That really helps to keep things simple. And here goes number 6. Make time for creativity. What is your creative outlet? For me, I don't know where I'd be without my guitar and my ukulele. I started playing both of them last year. I started learning. You can learn anything on YouTube. And it has become something that I enjoy doing. I'll find time. I will carve out time. It doesn't matter. I also write. It doesn't matter what it is that you like to do. Even if it's just grabbing a coloring book, one of those adult coloring books, and some colorful pencils, and doing that for half an hour. Put aside the TV. Don't even turn it on. Put aside your phone or your tablet. Do something that comes out of you. Learn something and put it to use. That belongs to you. that is something that we can all carve out time for. And I'll tell you the truth, you will notice how especially after a hectic day, after a frustrating day, or just in the morning to start out the time to, it really is healthy emotionally and mentally to have that creative outlet. Now for the next one. Number 7, spend time in nature. This is something that we can all do. You don't have to spend money on camping equipment or a big old RV or anything, although we were tempted to do that a while ago. You don't have to spend that much money. You don't have to go that far. With today, with the way that gas prices are, you can just go to your local park or greenway or trail and just enjoy your surroundings. Don't bring any headphones. Don't listen to any podcast. Just enjoy that moment of walking through and taking in the sights and the smells and the beautiful sounds of the birds and the wind going through the leaves. It's been proven that for human beings just to be outside in nature, that is probably one of the best medicines that don't cost anything, don't need a prescription. Just go outside, feel the ground beneath your feet. And again, it's something that you can do alone or you can do it with a loved one. And last but not least is number 8, which is enjoy your home. My husband and I have always been people that we used to think of our home in a sense as a like a pit stop because we weren't really taking the time to enjoy it. We were working at the time, and sometimes we'd say, well, let's go out on the weekends. We would hit the highway or just go out. In Spanish we call it pasear. And that's okay. But I think over the last few years, probably as a result of COVID, where many of us it was hard to go out, and we went out. I worked all through COVID, but it seemed that you were spending a lot more time at home, and after a while you started to realize, well, home is a haven. Home is something, it's like your own little sanctuary. You can spend time here. Yes, sometimes you have to go out, but it's nice to be able to just relax at home, even if you don't do anything. And yeah, you could watch TV, or you can just enjoy your front porch if you have one, or your window. I didn't always have a house. When I was young, I looked out the window and just enjoyed the snow falling or the sun coming up. So those are my 8 tips for simplifying your life. I hope that you've enjoyed them. Please leave me a comment to let me know what you've done to simplify your life. And thank you for being here. Until I see you again, may you be blessed.